Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a murder investigation continues to make progress after 2 men charged in the case fled to other states. And many people in eastern Kentucky are without running water after the winter storm left severe damage on water lines.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. My name is Amelia Lee on WYMT on this beautiful Tuesday, January 28th at 6:30. It's also time to check on in with our friend meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at that forecast this morning. Megan, we have been very hopeful, very happy today because we have the opportunity for some warmer weather. In my personal opinion, and you may or may not agree with me, I think 50s, that's my ideal temp.
Ooh, here's the thing. I used to think that 70s were, but 50s with sunny skies is not too bad. Yeah, I think I'm warming up to it, and the temperatures are warming up to it too, right? Let's take a look at those current temperatures. Right now, we are in the upper 20s and low 30s, and these will gradually, slowly but surely, make their way up into those high temperatures. But let's take a look at how these temperatures feel like this morning. We do have some wind in the area. That is making those temperatures feel a little bit colder. We're seeing the fastest winds as you're traveling towards Wise. Their temperatures were in the low 30s, but with the winds, those feels like temperatures are in the low 20s. So here's what you can expect those temperatures to feel like on the colder side of things. But again, good news, we'll be warming up, seeing those 50s as we're heading into the afternoon. Most of the area seeing us hitting those 50 degrees, and with the sunny skies, I would not be surprised if those temperatures got up a little bit higher than forecasted, maybe 51, 52. We'll see. I'll have an update tonight on the evening newscast on those observed high temperatures of the day. Let's take a look at the next 12 hours as we warm up into those highs. We'll see us hit those high temperatures around 4 o'clock today and start to cool down as we're heading to the overnight lows in the upper 30s. Amelia.
All right, Megan, thank you. Kentucky State Police continue to investigate a murder in the Feds Creek community of Pike County, and 3 men are now arraigned in the case. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest.
A shooting in the Feds Creek community earlier this month left 1 man dead and 3 behind bars.
So we have 3 defendants. We believe that they all were involved in the shooting of Chris Lester.
Investigators say 42-year-old Chris Lester was found dead at his home in the Steele community.
From that, they began their investigation. They found that he had been shot multiple times.
In the days that followed, several men were charged in connection to his murder. Michael Brown was arrested in Buchanan County, Virginia, and Anthony Browning was booked in nearby West Virginia.
Through further investigation, they believe that Michael Shortridge was also involved in the shooting.
Michael Shortridge was arraigned last week. Brown and Browning, who are now in the Pike County Detention Center, appeared virtually for their arraignments Monday. Commonwealth's attorney Bill Sloan says all 3 men will appear for preliminary hearings next week.
At that point, the district judge will listen to evidence from the Commonwealth and determine if there's enough evidence to have it bound over to the grand jury. Then it would be within 60 days we'd present it to the grand jury next for an indictment.
Sloan says more evidence will be presented in the days to come, saying the exact details of the shooting are still under investigation.
There's been no bond set for any of them. In a capital offense, the judge can withhold setting bond until it says an application and rules, but a motion's made by the defendant.
He says the Commonwealth is working to ensure justice is served. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The preliminary hearings for the men are set for 1 o'clock on February 6th. A high-profile murder case faces another setback. Shannon Gildy was charged with the death of Jordan Morgan, the daughter of former state lawmaker and Leslie County native Wesley Morgan. That incident happened back in 2022. Defense attorneys say they were ready for the death penalty hearing to happen yesterday for the trial in May of this year. Morgan's family did not mince words at their anger. The case has yet to go to trial.
What Gilday did justifies the sentence of death, even if he stays on death row for 30 years.
The death penalty hearing will now take place in May of this year with the trial in May of next year. The case against one man charged with murder in Whitley County is heading to a grand jury. During a pretrial conference Monday morning, probable cause was found in the case against Brian Randall. Police say Randall and Richard Cox got into a fight over dogs. Police later found Cox near a dumpster. Randall remains in jail on a $1 million bond. In Laurel County, one woman charged with murder in the death of her husband appeared in court yesterday. In a pretrial conference for Yolanda Lamelli, a motion was presented by her attorney to dismiss the case, but that motion was denied by a judge. A final pretrial conference in the case was set for May 1st and a jury trial for May 13th. One person is dead following a crash in Perry County. Police responded to the multi-vehicle crash on the Hal Rogers Parkway just after 10 on Saturday morning. According to the Perry County Coroner's Office, 47-year-old Charlie Mullins of Bolan was pronounced dead Saturday afternoon at Hazard ARH. Mullins was a healthcare provider at Hometown Clinic in Hyden. 2 other people were flown to UK Hospital in Lexington for serious injuries. State police say someone was flown to a trauma center after being hit by a vehicle. It happened yesterday afternoon on Hazard 1304 near Dozier Branch in Knox County. The pedestrian's name and condition is not known. The Richland Fire Department and Knox EMS responded, along with Kentucky State Police. The National Park Service is looking for information about a recent theft that vandalized a historic building. It happened at Mill Springs Battlefield National Monument. Park staff recently discovered that wood siding was removed from a historic barn that sits next to Highway 235 in Nancy. This particular act of vandalism and theft is considered a federal crime. Law enforcement is investigating. Anybody with information is urged to contact the Mill Springs Battlefield Administration Office. Police at the University of Kentucky are investigating the report of a sexual assault on campus. UK police say it happened Friday, January 17th inside the victim's room in a residence hall. UK police say the victim knows the 2 suspects and the investigation is currently underway. UK says anyone can report any incident of harassment or sexual assault to the school's Title IX coordinator. Many folks across eastern Kentucky are living without running water and have been for several days. The Harlan County Judge Executive declared a state of emergency, and we know of issues in several other counties as well. In most cases, Williamsburg officials say water line leaks are to blame. Alyssa Williams checked in with maintenance workers and those impacted by this in Whitley County.
There's no water.
Rita Sibsey says it's been a long 3 days without water.
It's been hard. We've been having to try and go buy water off the shelves, and it's just very costly when you're having to take like 3 gallons of water to just try to flush a toilet.
She's been staying at her mom's house in Williamsburg some while her mom has been in the hospital. She says her mom is supposed to be coming home soon to be put on home dialysis.
We have to hook her up every night, and then the tube will run and dump like in the toilet overnight. And so right now, if she was home, that would really be a serious issue with that.
But Williamsburg's maintenance supervisor, Miko Riley, says they don't have a definite answer on when water will be restored.
When it got really cold for 2 or 3 days, and then everything started thawing back out a little, that's when we had the leaks.
Riley says there have been numerous leaks throughout the south end of the county. While they've been able to find and repair most of them, there are still more that crews are working to find, which is why water has been shut off to the south end.
First, you got to find it, and it's not as easy as what everybody thinks. It don't always just squirt up out of the ground. I know we've had them shut off, but we had to do that to get water in our tanks, for the city. We couldn't just run out.
Riley says crews are continuing to work to find those leaks and help folks get back to normal.
Just bear with us. We're here to fix it. I mean, that's just what we do.
In Whitley County, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Riley says they have had some tough water line leaks before, but says these are the worst ones he has ever dealt with. Many folks in Bell County are in mourning after a pillar in the community died after a hard-fought battle with cancer. Jailer Robin Venable dedicated his life to public service, working in law enforcement since 1988. Those who worked with him say he lit up every room he walked into. He is described as kind, funny, and dedicated to both the community and his family. Bell County Attorney Chris Douglas shared a story that he says sums up who Venable was.
He was in church one Sunday morning. The preacher was telling me that he got up to give his sermon, and Robin was out there raising his hand, you know, before the preacher started talking. And the preacher was like, "Yes, Robin." And he says, "Do I have to wait till you get done, or can I get saved right now?" And the preacher, of course, let him come up, and he didn't have to give a sermon that day. And that's the way Robin really is.
In honor of Venable, flags outside of county buildings were lowered to half staff. Robin Venable was 59 years old. Funeral arrangements have not yet been shared.
We have just a little bit of snow that is in our area left over. It will continue to push out, and once it's gone, we're looking nice and dry for the rest of the day, and it'll be quite nice. Now, we're also going to see those temperatures warming up, meaning that any snow that is on the ground that did not melt yesterday will continue its journey on melting. Hopefully by the time we go to Thursday, when we see that rain chance, we start to see all of the snow nice and melted. So let's talk about those temperatures today, because we are in the 50s. Now, that is quite warmer than freezing. So we should, again, continue to see those temperatures warm up with the sun nice and sunny, melting that snow chance. Now let's take a look at that bus stop forecast for today. Looking in the low 30s, have some clouds in the sky, but by the time you're heading home, we'll see the clouds dissipate, seeing nice and sunny skies with high temperatures in the upper 40s. Amelia.
Thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:41. Still to come, in the artificial intelligence race, a dark horse enters the field as a Chinese startup is causing shockwaves through the industry.